It's 7 o'clock. I want to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Let the minutes reflect that all board members are present. If you all look at the consent calendar and minutes from last time, any additions, corrections to either? Good, Jim?
Looks okay, yeah.
Hearing none, a motion to accept as written.
I move so.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. Who we start with, Terry?
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Jeff Clem.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland.
Yeah. Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Hey, anyone in the audience? Kathy, want to say anything tonight?
Well, I've been catching all of the emails. I was just wondering if we're going to have any meeting about it.
Oh,
Not yet.
about the station? You got all the emails we got, so.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea when things start solidifying.
Yeah.
Or come to your township meeting or something like that, that'd be great.
Yeah, there was a question, I think Charlie posed a question, if we do get together, it does have to be a published meeting. If you guys meet, we meet, it's gonna be a work session, but it does have to be a published, we have to let the paper know
Okay.
that everybody, it's like school district tonight, they're meeting with Lansing, and it had to be since everybody gets together, it has to be a published meeting.
I was gonna bring up something during the discussion period later on about trying to finalize a meeting. I got a response from my email after our last meeting from Jim. Of course, you responded, but Jim said he proposed dates of 11, 18, and 25 September. So I was gonna bring that up and maybe make a motion on trying to finalize a date for an open meeting.
We'll have to give notice. Takes,
Yeah.
what, 2 days?
Yeah, we have to give 24 hours notice.
24 hours, okay.
And I'm out of town till the 30th, so unless you guys want to have a meeting
Yeah,
without
I'm good
me.
the 18th, I'm not the 19th, but the 18th I'm good. If that counts for anything, and you're not.
You guys aren't looking at buying here real quick like, so it's nothing we have to push real hard.
Well, we need
Because
to
the
know.
land is in
Escrow, or...
escrow, our estate.
Estate.
It's in an estate, and from my understanding, the husband and wife have both died, and the executrix is one of the sisters. I'm not sure if it's on the mother's side or the husband's side. And Phil has been talking with her. So, and she's all on board for it. It's the son that is resistant, but I'm not sure if he has anything to say, if she is control of the estate.
Well, how about if, I don't know how muddy that can be, once you get that cleared up and it's really, then it's up to the township and out of their hands, then maybe we should meet.
Yeah, 'cause I don't like having a meeting if he ain't gonna be there and you're not gonna be there.
No, I was gonna say, I think, I think the chief definitely need to be at a meeting like this,
Yeah,
because with all his technical knowledge and all that, I don't
Right.
feel comfortable without a meeting without him. So we may have to delay it to October. Because
that's
of
fine.
his vacation.
We always meet
I think we're good.
the last Wednesday in October, so that'll be our last one for the year.
Has a decision been made to build?
No, not to build, but if you want to come and discuss it, or even have any plans or anything like
The
that.
last Wednesday of the month,
Of October.
that's the 25th. You sure you won't be back by then?
Of October, yeah. she
Oh,
said
it's October you're talking?
October.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like.
They meet the last Wednesday of the first month of the quarter.
There you go.
I finally figured it out.
Can't remember his anniversary, but he's got that.
So the 23rd,
Oh, I remember that.
the 30th of October. Well, that sounds like a good plan. I mean, we'll just have a joint meeting with them. They'll already put,
You want to plan on
will
meeting?
they have to amend their publishing or to include us?
And that's the third Wednesday you're talking about now?
No, the
She said the last
last Wednesday.
Wednesday, which is the 30th.
It would be the 30th.
It would be the 30th, yeah, 30th of October.
I'm good for that day. I'll be going to Portland, Oregon.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, I was, where my head head was going with that, should we think about meeting as a board before that point? The only reason I bring that up is if they're building something in the township, they need to understand what we're willing to do from a support standpoint. I think they should know that before they decide to build or not build. I mean, it just seems like that would be helpful, unless we can talk about it there. But as
Well, I
far
thought
as-
that was the purpose of the joint meeting, is to just to...
Okay, that would be fine. I don't-
Everything out.
Meeting the 14th anyway.
Yeah.
So anything that, right?
No,
We're still gonna have
seventh.
our meeting the 14th.
Seventh.
First Monday.
You guys
The first one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll still have ours.
Oh, yeah,
Seventh.
yeah, sure.
So anything that you wanted to catch before we had the joint, I mean.
I still want to be in a meeting, and, to what we can commit to and what we're willing to do as a board, kind of directs, well, they should know if we're going to fund it, if it's going to be staffed, if there's going to be trucks there. Those are the types of things that, if you're making it, building something as a board, what are we willing to put up there and agree to that would make that building worthwhile? And I think there's probably some discussion around that and understanding kind of what your folks in the township or where their heads are at and why they're thinking what they are, so we can just kind of understand that a little bit. It's probably going to be a really helpful discussion.
Well, I think if it's a very productive meeting, what we should come away from the meeting with is a fairly good skeleton plan on the way forward for both of us.
Okay.
Well, if nothing else, we'll know where everyone stands, and like I say, the big thing is, while the property's still tied up in escrow and the family hasn't made a decision yet, this may be all for naught if they don't
Yeah.
claim. So a month's probably a good time to wait, and if we can, if that's taken care of by then, at the end of the month end of October would be a good time to get together.
Okay.
Would we want to prepare, get input from everybody on some kind of agenda, or would we rather just go in and just start?
We can come up with,
Verbalize.
I'll come up with an agenda and email it to you guys, and
And we could talk, if I
Yeah.
remember it once before that, the 7th, saying, well, I think this ought to be brought up, or that
Well, I
way,
would-
when you make it up, then.
well, I would say to everybody, and if you can get hold of Phil and Jim, get with me your ideas, what you want to talk about, and I'll get them all on the agenda.
There's probably some homework, not that I keep throwing stuff on you, but
Thank you.
what is the benefits there's three of us here that have to report to the Lansing community.
Right.
How do we educate the community that this is the right decision because in the end, we're talking about raising the mill levy, adding more trucks, adding more head count. There has to be a story that we can successfully sell the community on why we're going to raise their taxes. So we should talk about response time, we should talk about improved safety for the outlying part of Lansing community that would probably increase or improve. I'm guessing,
Why
I
don't
don't
you throw
know.
some bullet points to me?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good idea, you know where my head's at right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to understand more
Yeah.
about why we're doing it. But I think there's always reasons that if we can justify it, why it makes sense, so.
And I think that's good if we get together with the township, get their views, and
Yep.
go from there.
I think we ought to do that once a year anyway. Okay. Let them see where they're at and where we're at. And I think the same way with, of course, you represent Delaware Township, but I think we ought to do the same thing with them. High Prairie once a year,
Sure.
whether it's a joint meeting here with them or not, and get everybody's feeling on what we're doing and how we're doing it, and is everybody satisfied? And bottom line, everything we do is tax dollar expense to everybody.
Yep, everybody, that's right.
Well, that's the
Good
same
idea.
thing with them.
Give me your bullet points, and I'll get it going, and I'll start coming up with something.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. Chief's report.
The only thing I have to add is, we will have our annual open house on October 12th, it's a Saturday from 1 to 4. Stay off the cheese. 12th? Stay off the cheese.
You gonna send something out?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, do that. I'm not
Thank you.
writing down it.
And that's all I got.
Very worthwhile to come and see the men work, and the
Everybody
community.
likes to do an extrication on vehicles, but we're having real hard time
I was here
finding
when
vehicles.
you guys,
We're having a real hard time getting cars, so.
Smashed up cars?
yes.
You used to be able to get them and drop the hat, but anymore, I don't know what happened to them.
First time.
Yeah, but still, we can't get them countermarked.
12th on Saturday.
As long as you ain't using our new.
Yeah, I won't be here.
It's all right.
That's okay.
Okay. Moving on to items for action. If you'll look at 4A here, I'm assuming everybody got a copy of the resolution, keeping everything,
This is driven
Correct.
by the bank. Everything we're doing now is driven by the bank on the loan for the new truck. The paperwork, Dean's gonna find out here in a little bit, it's quadrupled from the last time we did a truck. Don't know why, but the bank's driving everything. And so this is a resolution that says Dean or Jeff, the chairman or vice chairman, can sign all due paperwork that belongs to the truck, and that's again driven like by the bank.
You
We'll go
had
from there.
conversations on this with, so I know there's some dialogue with the city back and forth on just the ability to do the lease.
Yeah, we do a lease purchase. We cannot go in debt. The only way we can go as a fire district, we can issue bonds, but bonds have to be approved by the voters, so the voters are putting us in debt. We're not, you guys
So
are.
the documents are geared around
A
what we're
lease.
legal about.
Yeah, we're doing a lease purchase. If this board decides 2 years from now, hey, we're done paying for the truck, we don't want it no more, the bank still owns it, it goes back to the
Right.
bank, and it's all,
So you're needing a motion on that.
just the resolution to have you guys sign it.
And ain't that what the mayor said too?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I was taking out of all those emails flying back and forth.
They do the same thing,
Everything we
they do
would
it a
do
little
is
different, but they do,
Correct.
they do it.
Correct.
So I move we approve Resolution 2013-3, allowing the district to enter an agreement to lease purchase the new truck. It also allows Chairman Dean Holberg to sign all related documents.
I'll second that motion.
okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Terry?
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes,
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Dean Mober.
Yes.
And with that being said, on the weather lead, you guys all got to sign it, 3 copies.
Okay.
Nobody leave.
Nice job providing clarity on that.
No.
All right, moving on to 4B, purchase insurance for the firefighters. I believe last time, when this came up, this is the secondary insurance, like Aflac.
Right, so like if the guys get hurt, this pays for their time off work.
Do we have to do this every year? 'Cause we did.
Well, it's a budgeted item, but since it's over $9,000,
Oh, okay.
I bring it to you guys, since it's a large sum of money, but it is a budgeted item, we do budget.
Right.
We budgeted $9,000 this year. I budgeted, I think, $10,000 for next year, but this year we budgeted $9,000. The actual bill is $9,816. Last year, the board voted to pay the whole amount, which was $9,600, I think, at the time. So whatever you guys want to do, either the 9 or the 9,816, that's you guys. You can come up with the $816 from somewhere.
And this provides gap insurance. Explain it to me.
It's for the, biggest thing we bought it for was the volunteers, but the paid guys also get it
While on duty.
while on duty, if they get hurt while on duty. Because if a volunteer gets hurt, then he doesn't, he's not getting paid from, he's getting paid from workman's comp, but he's not, his salary's not going on. So where these guys, paid guys, if they get hurt, they get workman's comp, they go on, but the volunteers don't, so this is covering the volunteers as well as, and we have to include everybody, so.
It's,
It's kind of like Aflac.
so the sickness side, accident, any sickness, like getting sick at work, or what was that?
Yeah, if you get hepatitis or whatever
From something on the
improvements on
truck.
a call. Mostly it's for blowing out a knee or cutting their fingers or something.
So we need a-
Smoke inhalation.
I'll go ahead and make a motion, we pay the total amount like we did last.
Second.
You want to specify the amount there in the motion?
9816.
$9,816. Is that right?
To
Allied General Agency for the insurance of the fire.
And you got a second?
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Dean Milburn.
Yes.
With that being said, Jim and Dean, don't leave until you sign that check.
I got a cramp, I don't know. Moving on, items for discussion. I think we've got a couple coming up, but, and you've got the budget, anything else to look at, the calls. So, any items this time?
I got one, but it's gotta go through Jimmy and the chief over here to make sure with all the emails we got on him being bonded. Is everybody on the right wavelength now that we gotta get insurance beyond or not?
Well, we got a copy of the surety bond from Riley, but it was identical. It's from CNA Surety up in Iowa. It's identical. And I think probably that you're not gonna find the bond any different in content, you know. So the bottom line is, that there's no way I can sign a bond of that nature, which I probably all like to, unless I have some personal liability insurance. And I didn't get a chance to research that much, but I think the starting point is to talk to an insurance savvy person that knows that. Because, you know, there's some dynamics involved. First of all, is there anything exempt? Is there anything in your assets or whatever exempt from suit? If not, then I gotta come up with a figure of my net worth and all that so that I can protect that, you know, if all of it, if they're going after all of it. Especially my retirement money.
Yeah, I read all the emails and coincidentally, I'm meeting with one of the heads of Northwestern Mutual tomorrow. I thought I'd bring it up to them, just get another standpoint. But certainly, if there's liability to our treasurer, it should be covered by the district. So if it takes a supplemental policy to do that, whatever it takes.
Well, you know, Pam said she agreed with all my, you know, I wrote a little dissertation, she agreed with all that, and recommended not sign it, but she did say you should have insurance. You know. And it appears from a couple of extracts on Kansas statutes and all that, my interpretation of them was, and I think she said it, I'm not sure, I have to go back and look, but the board would be authorized to pay the premium
Obligated.
on a personal liability insurance policy. So hopefully by the next meeting, maybe I can present the information and we can go ahead and approve a motion, you know, make a motion to approve to take that policy and pay the premiums.
Sounds good.
I don't want to put it off no more than what he's going to check with that insurance and what you're doing. Because it seems like from the question you asked first, we're dragging this thing out, and New Year's going to start here pretty soon. So if, in fact, what you're saying to cover you, and we need that, and I'm not against it, I'm just saying we need to come up with some kind of a total so we can vote on this within a given dollar amount. Otherwise, what's going to happen, we're going to put it off for another month before we get this thing done. And so, it seems like to me, we need to do it, we need to find out how much it is and vote on it. And if we say, okay, are we going to put this out for bids? That's where I was going with this whole mess. And then to say, okay, yeah, but underneath our guidelines that we got to go by, if it's a certain amount of money, we got to put it out to bid so it's equal and fair to everybody. And that's what I was trying
Well,
to...
see, I'm operating from quite a ignorance. I have no idea about it. And if we have to go out for bid, I can't provide it. I don't know how to write RFP on an insurance policy.
I don't think you're gonna be at a level where we're gonna need to, but we don't know until you do, you know,
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I'll bet you it's gonna be less than
we get into
$200 a
buying
year.
new
I
insurance.
wouldn't think it'd be too much.
based on net
We
worth,
don't
is
get
how it's gonna be
two or
driven.
three insurance
So it
companies
may be
to
more.
equal
Yeah, I mean, I can't
opportunity
imagine it being
to
too much.
giving it to us. That's where I was coming with that.
Maybe Lisa
We
can
don't know
help
what
us
the
out.
amount is, but
Well,
everything
liability
we do
insurance
is
very well.
up to scrutiny.
You've already chatted with Riley, I'd say have that conversation again with them and see where, I mean, they understand.
Who, Riley?
Yeah, just kinda
that's
go
what
through
I was
that.
thinking. I'd call Riley and see if I could,
Okay, if you want.
I don't know anybody at Riley.
If you want to call Riley, I'll call, CBS,
Are we going about that the right way, though? That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, if we come back and say yes, and now, then we'll have to vote a amount, but on the other hand, under our deal, we would have to put it out to 3 or 4 insurance companies or not.
Well, I don't, yeah,
I don't know.
we're under, I would imagine we're gonna be under that amount. I mean, we have to put up bids over $5,000, and I can't imagine it being $5,000.
Well, I can't either, but I want to
think it
make
should
sure
be.
whatever we did, that somebody else couldn't come back and say, well, why didn't I get an opportunity if you're doing this? That's the only reason.
And for some reason, if it's that high, I'll work on writing the RFP if we have to. So,
Well, maybe
I don't
we
think
won't.
we're gonna need.
Maybe
to
we
work
won't.
on it.
I'm just saying, anytime we spend money, it seems like
We have to be fair.
we have to be fair, and everybody else says, well, why didn't I get an opportunity? You bought it from
Yeah, absolutely.
Riley, and
I think the big thing-
family could have did it, or...
Right now, Jim, you don't have any liability because you have not signed a bond.
No, I don't have
So
any liability.
you're still good.
No, I'm not good.
I agree with Charlie, we should get it done as soon as possible. In liability, correct me if I'm wrong, but just like our little airstrip out there, we got $1 million worth of liability. It's grass, there's nothing out there. But just in case somebody comes up, breaks an ankle on the property, we're covered. That $1 million for that limited liability was $2,500 a year for $1 million. So I think in the courts, if you show you're being proactive and that because of your position as treasurer and wanting to make sure you're covered for whoever might have a claim, if we got a $300,000 policy, that would show we're being proactive. Here it is, take that, we have no other liability. But we'll let the insurance people hash that out and get what you need. And when you're comfortable, sign the bond and we'll get it done.
Well, if my retirement money is not fair game, then I could probably get by, we could probably get by with less than $300,000.
But we'll look at the numbers. It's really relatively cheap insurance for when you're talking about something that may or may not possibly, and this is far-reaching. It's like us having an occurrence at the grass airstrip. We're more likely to have a problem there than you are as treasurer.
Right,
But we'll get it done right.
okay.
Thanks for checking all that, by the way. Anything else? Jeff?
No, that was my question.
Jim, anything else?
Yeah, I was looking at our budget, and I'm very satisfied with how Rick's doing so far. I mean, the straight line at the end of August is 67%. And I think it's very explainable, although I haven't talked to Rick about it, but, you know, we have some items well over that, but I think it's the way they fall during the year. But you take the total personnel is 6% under straight line, contractuals 2% under straight line, debt service is 4% under straight line, and our total, bottom line total is 5% under straight line. So we've got we've got a little bit of wiggle room there. Managing by the straight line.
You know, I took a look, Rick sent me some information on that. I think you're right on the straight line. The fluctuation over the last 2 years is insignificant, plus or minus 2 or 3%, and it would just be a big headache to have to worry about something different that's for really no benefit to adjust it up or down by a few percentage points. So I was pushing for, we should do it based on percentages, based on historicals, and it would just say that he does a good job, just kind of, the straight line seems to, the fluctuation each month is not minimal, so I don't think we need to do it any other way than how you're proposing it.
And see, one of the key factors in being able to making straight lines sufficient is, we can transfer money between any of these lines. If we couldn't transfer money between line items, then you got, but, well, two factors. We can transfer money between any line items. Second of all, we got a very, very healthy savings account that we can, you raise that bucket up, a little water flows into this one.
I would say it's healthy, it's not very, very healthy, but
Well, but I mean, we got,
it's almost as healthy as a
but
city.
here again, that we're not prevented from going in and grabbing a little bit if we have a contingency.
We never had to do that before, right?
No, we've never had to draw into it, but that's why we're getting it, we're just getting it developed, and it's almost as good as what the city's been drawing down on theirs, and they had a big hoorah the other night, they didn't realize they were drawing their reserve fund down as much as they have.
Actually, these numbers are a wee bit better because you've added some of the expenditures for September already in these percentages. So actually, it's a little bit better than what the business that for.
Great.
Because I didn't take time to subtract out all the September stuff.
Very good.
So I think we're in good shape through 8 out of 12 months.
And speaking on the budget, we probably will be doing a budget amendment this year. We've never done one before since we sold that other truck. We got another $11,000 income that we have to, it's amending the budget for a good reason. We're showing that 11,000 we're bringing in so we can spend it.
I thought the way we handled that we didn't receive it, it went into the other truck.
No, we tried that one. And Steve said all over red ball head if we do that, and I don't look good.
Oh, okay,
Red ball head.
I was under the impression.
I tried.
Because,
Yeah.
we didn't gain anything.
Right.
We sold the truck and we put the money from the truck into this new truck, so
Yeah,
it was
that's-
just like
I-
a trade-off.
Yeah, I tried to
You
do
can't
that.
get away with it.
No, Steve said you can't do that.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was write a check to the bank, and then we would just take the bank here, pay off on the loan, and Steve said, yeah, you were.
I learned every day too.
Will they go to equipment
75.
reserve then, or where?
That'll go just, it'll be going into equipment reserve, and we can budget at the end of the year to put it into equipment reserve. Because if we don't budget for it, then it just carries over, and we don't lose it, but we can't save it.
Right.
So, for what it's gonna cost us to do a budget,
Appreciate you
$100 and some dollars,
I didn't know that.
so.
Yeah, tax dollars are different.
Well, it wasn't that we were spending anything, we had property, we sold property, and we got this one, so we put it right back in, so it was, to me, a trade-off, otherwise we would have had,
Yeah, you
we
think
would
like
have had
that.
to spend the money to put in the new truck. Whether the thing caught on fire, we didn't sell it or anything, we still would have had to spend the money to bring that truck up to where we
Yeah,
need it.
you think like I do, but Steve, straight
Okay,
back.
I mean-
Common sense has nothing to do with
No.
tax money.
No, I know stuff like this, but I just, there was no capital gain.
Right. Oh, exactly. Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
Lisa?
Nope.
All right, hearing nothing else, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
They jumped in.
Second over, hit the finish line first.
I got it tonight. You make a motion.
Last page on each one.
Last meeting, you wouldn't, you said that.
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Great.
Jeff Clem.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland.
Yes, yeah.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Dean Milburn.
Yes, thank you all very much. Nobody move.